Now at 4:30, Donald Trump has posted a $175 million bond in his New York civil fraud case. The move prevents officials from seizing his assets to satisfy his debt. New York Appellate Court had given the former president 10 days to put up the money after a panel of judges agreed last month to slash the $454 million needed to stop the clock on enforcement. Joining us now to weigh in on this move and what it means for Trump is Queen City News Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes.
All right, so how does putting up that much cash for a bond work? And also, who did the underwriting for that deal?
So a couple of things. You're talking about cash, bonds, or stock, some type of collateral. They want something to show that you can support this type of money and that we can come and take from you in the event that you are unable to be successful on your appeal or can't come up with the money that you're supposed to pay, because they'll be on the hook for that. And so they want to ensure that there's collateral to support that. This company, this one out of California, this Nightly Specialty Group, these folks do this on a regular basis, but their owner has some connection to Trump in the past. His group, he has connection to a bank called Axios Bank. They loaned Trump money before, about earlier this year and a couple times before in the past. And so that connection is something that folks in this circle, folks in this space, they run together. So if you're a billionaire, you know other billionaires. He made his money. He's valued at $7.5 billion from the subprime auto loan industry. So he had the resources and he understood that if I can make money off of this investment, hey, why not loan it to him? And he said that in the report, I would have loaned it to anyone, regardless of political affiliation. We saw an opportunity to make money, and that's what we did here.
So is it the end of this case because Trump still has to go through the appeal process and then find out, and that's going to take a few months before you have to put up the $454 million?
It's the end of this stage. So the first stage was come up with the $450+ million. Can you come up with it? Okay, I can't come up with it. So now I want to appeal this process because I think I was done unjustly. Well, in New York, to appeal that process, you have to come up with that amount plus 10%. And so he had to come up with almost $475 million. So then the appeals court reversed that decision and allowed him to come up with a little bit of it. You know, $175 million is still a big number to most people, but not to a billionaire. And so coming up with that lowered amount allowed him to open the door to do that. But it doesn't end the case. It just ends that stage of the case. And to think about it, a lot of things have been happening for the former president. Today alone, he lost $1 billion in net worth. His Truth Social app, which skyrocketed last week, took a plunge with the rest of the market today, and he lost $1 billion in net worth. So the timing of this was amazing because he was counting on using a lot of that Truth Social money with that skyrocket.
Which he can't touch for 6 months.
He can't, but he was looking at, listen, if I can increase my net worth, if I can increase my value, other folks will lend me money. And so he had an $11 billion increase in the last few days, shot down $1 billion in one day.
And what about his properties? Is that still in play here, though, for the rest of that money?
Oh, for sure. I mean, James and her team was already filing the paperwork to get access to his property right now, and that's on hold. You'll wait to see what the appeal process looks like. But in the second that he can't pay, the second he can't come up with the $450 million that he's supposed to come up with, yes, they will go after his assets, and rightfully so. If they have a judgment in hand, the very next thing that you do, if you're a property owner, if someone owes you money and the court has awarded you any dollar amount, if it's $20 or $200,000, or in this case, $400 million, you're going to go after it. And if they can't pay, you got to go after their assets. And so I do this all the time with my clients. If they can't pay, you go out and you get the judgment and you get that entered and you get the sheriff to go out and start taking their property, their houses, their cars. In this case, he's got larger properties, larger cars.
A lot of legal action going on here for Trump. In the meantime, he's got his hush money trial that's going to have jury selection in 2 weeks that'll begin.
I mean, his attorneys are across the board trying to scramble. I mean, remember, we got Atlanta stuff. We still got the stuff in D.C. We got things in Florida. I mean, all across the country, attorneys right now are lining up to try to figure out how they can represent him. So by all means, this is looking to be an interesting next few months for him. Oh, yeah, and there's an election down the line.
Yeah, a lot to keep track of. Khalif, thank you.